Yes, guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be going over the 5 things I quit to stay ripped 365 days a year. Now, guys, getting lean is one thing. Staying lean all year whilst living your life is a whole nother thing. And I've been around 10% body fat for multiple years now. I still travel. I still enjoy my life. I run a business. I drink alcohol in moderation, but it wasn't always like that. And these are the 5 things I've had to quit to be able to keep this physique long term. Now, number one, okay, I stopped chasing quick fixes, okay? 6 weeks shreds don't work. A 12-week super fat loss phase of no carbs don't work. Crash diets don't work. Instead, what we need to think about, guys, is building long-term habits, a sustainable deficit when it comes to fat loss, a training plan you enjoy and you can stick to, and we need to incorporate diet breaks, reverse diet, proper strength training, make sure it fits into your lifestyle. These things are so important. Now, I've been a coach for multiple years online. Now, I've helped over 650 people in the last few years alone build muscle and lose body fat. And this is still something that I speak about with people on calls all the time. Everybody loves a quick 6-week shred before their holiday, or, I need to add one guy the other day, he's going to Vegas, he's doing 30 days, no carbs. Why? Why eliminate carbohydrates? Why suffer like that? Carbohydrates don't make you gain body fat. Carbohydrates give you energy. Too many calories make you gain body fat. That same person could have just slightly reduced his carbs, slightly reduced his fat, increased his protein, and lost loads of body fat as well, but he wouldn't feel like utter shit, and he wouldn't rebound in Vegas. He's probably still going to rebound in Vegas, but you get what I mean. Guys, we have to stop chasing these quick fixes. I have built my entire career on sustainable plans, a 3-day training plan that gives people 4 days off a week, a little bit of cardio post-workout, so it's still being done in the week, but it puts you, you're in the gym just after your workout. You don't have to go back twice a day and train. It doesn't work for 99% of people to go train in the morning, weights in the evening if you have a life. We need long-term sustainable habits. You should still be able to enjoy your weekends and get in shape. You should still be able to drink alcohol in moderation and get in shape. And the goal, as I always talk about on here, is to build the complete physique where you're lean, you have muscle, you're not shredded to the bone, you can go for a run, you can go for a swim, you can play with your kids. This is everything I preach, okay? So these quick fixes, crash diets, guys, they just don't work. Whilst we're here, let me just break it down quickly. Imagine you do run a 6-week plan, right? Because you're really motivated, you've got a wedding coming up or whatever, and you run no carbs for 6 weeks, okay? You're going to lose a lot of water at the start and then a lot of fat after that. You are going to pull a lot of body fat off across those 6 weeks, which is great, right? That's the whole point. But guys, if you cannot sustain the plan you're on, you will not sustain the result you get from the plan. I speak about that a lot. So the 8 kilos, 15 pounds, whatever you lose in those 6 weeks, when you stop and you eat all the food again, you eat all the carbohydrates again, the 15 pounds you lost, you'll gain 17, 18 pounds. What is the point? What am I missing here? What is the point of losing 15 pounds in 6 weeks and then 6 weeks after that you gain 18 pounds? It does not work, guys. A sustainable plan, a sustainable training plan, a sustainable deficit, fit it into your lifestyle. That is what my whole business is about. That's the course I created. That's my premium coaching that I've created. Every plan that every guy gets from me is about how can you fit this into your lifestyle? How can we do the lowest amount possible while still drop? And how can we still be in shape 12 months from now? This is not a 12-week plan. This is a 12-month plan. This is crucial, guys. And I used to do it as well. I'm the worst for it. That's why I'm sat here talking to you about it, because I have done it all. I've done the carb cycling, for weeks at a time. I've no carbed it. I've done hours of cardio. I've made every mistake possible. I've lost all the weight, put it back on. I competed where I did the most aggressive 14 fat loss phase of all time, and then blew up. I gained over 10 kilos overnight. Had to sleep with my feet elevated for 3 days because my ankles are so swollen. The reason why I'm passionate about this stuff is because trust me, I've done it all. I've made every mistake, but over the last 4 years, I've been in top shape the whole way through. Go and look at my Instagram. You'll never see a picture of me out of shape. I always look like this. If anything, I've actually reduced in size because I just want to be lean because I'm filming all the time. Another thing I had to quit was living for the weekends. Guys, I'm sure like most of you, I hated my life before. I hated my job. I was stuck in the wrong career before I got into coaching, and I was miserable. And I'd get to Friday, get the week out the way, and then yes, right, go out with my friends, go drinking, eat whatever I want, forget about everything. And I used to just drink the weekends away, okay? If you are living for the weekends, and you blow it on Friday and Saturday is your time to, let rip with the boys and have a few drinks and go play, do this, go play golf and drinking or drugs, whatever it is, your physique will never go anywhere, especially after the age of like 20. You can get away with it from kind of 18 to like 21, 22, but I'm 32 next month. I cannot get away with it. If I go out and have a big night of drinking alcohol with my friends, I'm ruined until Wednesday. My training is ruined. I don't get up Sunday morning and go for a run, and no, my whole week is ruined, okay? Alcohol is the devil, but that's another video for another time, okay? We know that these nights out, they lead to bad decisions, they lead to eating too much food, they lead to binging, they lead to a terrible training session on Sunday and Monday. And overall, it just has a negative impact on your life. You need to try and get your weekends dialed if you want to look good all of the time. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older now, but I much prefer to have a Saturday, go to a beach club, eat good food, recovery, saunas, ice baths, sit in the sun. These things leave me fulfilled and they allow me to have a better physique. I used to be that guy. I used to go out on Friday night. I'd go out all night until Saturday, sleep for a bit in the day Saturday, go out all day Saturday, sleep all of Sunday to recover. Then I'd go to the gym on a Monday and try to hit a push workout and wonder why all of my lifts are down, why my skin's broken out and why I'm fat and my face is puffy. You've got to nail your weekends if you want to be lean, especially after your early 20s, I'm afraid. And most of the people that I coach are between 30 and 50, 55, 60. They know you cannot be boozing all the time. Nail your weekends and your physique will thank you. One more thing whilst I'm here as well. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, never drink again. I understand that we like to have fun. I will still go out and have a few drinks from time to time. But if you're drinking hard, I spoke to a guy today who signed up to my 12-week premium coaching plan, who we were having a great conversation. This guy's 6'2", 95 kilos, massively overweight. And then when I spoke to him about alcohol, I saw his face kind of change on camera. And he was, well, I do like a drink on the weekend. And I said, the whole reason you're here is because of your weekends. If you're somebody, and listen, guys, I like to drink, I get it, but you need to minimize how much alcohol you drink. It affects training performance. It affects how much muscle we can build. It affects muscle protein synthesis by up to 20%. It affects the quality of your sleep. We all know it's terrible. So if you're watching this thinking, oh yeah, well, I love that, your weekends are probably the reason why you're watching this video as well. Because if you're not in great shape and you're trying to get help online and you're typing in for these sort of videos, it's probably because your diet's shit. And because of that, your training's probably shit as well. So that message was to you, whoever's watching this. Now, another thing I've had to quit to look my best at all times is this obsession with trying to be as big as possible. Now, this is like a fitness education channel. I talk about building muscle. As you can see by my physique, I obviously weight train. I've been very honest. I've done steroids in the past. I competed from 27 to 29. All I cared about from 27 to 29 was being as big as possible. I moved to Dubai. I got a coach. I just want to compete, all this stuff, bullshit. And I didn't care about my health. I just wanted to get as big as possible, okay? And honestly, I'd say from about 18 years old to 24 years old, I made so many mistakes, but because I was always in these crazy bulks, trying to get as big as possible, I never looked, I used to train in an oversized t-shirt or a hoodie. I never looked any good. And I know so many guys can relate where we don't feel happy with our physiques. It's taken me a long time. I've been training for 17 years now to get to a point where I'm just happy with how I look. I can sit here and wear a vest on camera and I can see that I look pretty good. I'm not massive. I'm not shredded to the bone, but I'm muscular. I'm lean. I look good. I take my clothes off anywhere and I feel great. Okay. Now, when we're trying to get as big as possible, because I have a lot of young guys that I coach where their goal is to build muscle. The goal should be to put on lean muscle whilst maintaining low levels of body fat, so you actually look good. I don't understand putting on 20 kilos in 12 weeks, being a fat pig, having spots everywhere, wearing a hoodie, having to train with your hoodie up and your headphones over your hoodie so you sweat more because you're a bodybuilder. On the Stairmaster, I don't understand that. We need to do cardio, we need to do steps, we need to train hard, and we also need to eat a lot of food if you want to build muscle. Yes, I got to the point where I was trying to get as big as possible, where I didn't do steps, didn't do cardio because it burned calories. I was consuming 1,000-calorie shakes with olive oil, Cocoa Pops, whey protein, Ben & Jerry's ice cream in there to try and get as many calories in as possible, and I just felt and looked terrible. You will build a lot of muscle in a small 250 calorie surplus by eating good food, doing your cardio, staying healthy. And a byproduct of that is you actually look good all the time. How many people do we know that only look good for about 4 weeks of the year? I'm an online fat loss transformation coach. I know coaches that only look good 4 weeks of the year because they do a photo shoot and they just reload the photos for the whole year. The rest of the time they're fat because they didn't reverse out of the shoot, and they have no discipline around their training and around their eating. Trying to be as big as possible is something that doesn't benefit many people unless you want to be a massive bodybuilder. And remember, you can still build muscle whilst doing cardio, whilst doing sport. Like, I still have muscle. I box, sometimes I'll do spin, I'll do yoga, I still weight train 4 times a week. But by not trying to be so big all the time, it's allowed me to get back into sport, not look like a big block of cheese. You're walking around with an oversized t-shirt on, you look normal in clothes, then you take the clothes off and people are like, fuck, he looks great. That is the goal. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but that should be the goal, in my opinion, for most men. Look great in clothes, take them off. People are like, oh my God, he looks like an anatomy chart, looks ridiculous. Muscular and lean, that is the way forward. These big, stupid bulks, they're not needed. And that leads me nicely onto my next point of these dirty bulks. Again, I come to you guys, I'm talking from experience. I'm not being arrogant here saying you shouldn't do this and you should follow me. I have done it all. I have done the big dirty bulks where I said, you know what, I'm going on a bulk. Here we go, 5,000 calories a day from today. Let's put Cocoa Pops into a shake with serious mass where you shovel it in with a scoop, creatine, olive oil to get my fats in. Let's slam it down. Let's order a pizza as well with chicken tenders. Like, I've done it all, okay? And I'm telling you guys, I spent years and years and years training with an oversized t-shirt on or a big hoodie because I was out of shape and fat, because I wanted to try and build muscle as fast as possible, okay? And all it led to was more fat gain, which meant a longer fat loss phase, which meant some more muscle being lost afterwards, which means I kind of just always looked the same. I was either dirty bulking or eating poverty calories because I was so fat and wanted to get lean so quickly. I literally spent 5 years of my training career when I was the most obsessed with training, the most obsessed with my physique, training with it. I couldn't even look in the mirror. Imagine that. You're absolutely obsessed with bodybuilding like I was when I was younger. You do anything you can to try and build muscle, and you can't even look in the mirror because you're so fat, because you're eating 5,000 calories a day when your maintenance is 2,500, and really you build muscle on 2,750. I've made all of the mistakes, guys, which is why I'm sat here trying to kind of educate you guys, because I get a lot of young guys watching this channel as well. Remember, the fatter you get in a bulk, the longer you have to diet for afterwards. The longer you have to diet, the more muscle you'll probably lose, meaning you end up in the same position anyway. Lean gaining phases are the way forward, where we can maintain a good level of body fat, be healthier, look better, not have a big moon face. Again, I've got multiple videos on this. Any guy that's coached by me knows we go into a fat loss phase to begin with, get yourself into a nice healthy position, primed to build muscle. Then we push into a lean gaining phase. You push. Every now and then you do small fat loss phases or mini cuts or diet breaks, whatever you want to call it. Not a diet break, but a fat loss phase or a mini cut. Get yourself into position again, you push again, and you keep repeating the process. And you can put 10 15 kilos on in a year and maintain a really good condition. And then when it's time to go into that fat loss phase, you are ready to go. Okay. There's only so much muscle we can build at a time. You know, I don't think a 500 calorie surplus is going to allow you to build muscle. A 1500 calorie surplus, you're going to build the same amount of muscle, guys. You're just going to be fat at the end of why do the 1500 calorie surplus? You don't need it. And I want to show you one of my clients here, Ricky. This is someone that went into in fact, this is a 12-month transformation, okay? He's the same weight, 83 kilos in both pictures. We have 83 kilo Ricky, who's kind of not in great shape, went through a fat loss phase, brought him down somewhere into the mid-70s, then pushed him into a surplus, slow reverse diet into a gaining phase, something I'm very big on. Anyone that knows me knows that. We pushed him up so that when he did get to 83 kilos, he was at a much better body composition. We were able to push past that close to 90 kilos and then a slow diet back down. And as you can see, the end result is 83 kilos, way more muscle, way less fat, full recomp, but it took 12 months. People want to be in amazing shape yesterday. No one's willing to put the work in. People do 12-week muscle building phases or fat loss phases and then take 12 weeks off. Have a look at Ricky. That is what happens when you do things properly for 12 months. That looks like 5 years of progress. That's just proper coaching and proper execution from the client. And boom, that's the result you can get. In 1 year is a short amount of time in the grand scheme of training. And then I'll use myself as an example. As you can see me now, I'm about 8 to 10 kilos lighter than I was, 3 years ago when I was trying to be as big as possible. But I don't look too different. As you can see, I still have like decent shoulders, decent arms. I might not be as full, as vascular, as big as before. But because I'm lean, I look just as big. These dirty bulks, they make you gain too much body fat and you look terrible. We don't need them, guys. We just don't need them. Let's put them to bed. And now, last but not least, the 5th thing I had to quit to stay in shape all year is I had to quit ignoring my recovery. As I've said, I don't know if it's because I'm over 30 now, but I used to train 7 days a week. I used to do push, pull, legs, weak body part, which was arms, okay? I never took a day off. And it never worked, okay? I used to get injured. I still have a shoulder issue now. I'm 31 years old from doing a CrossFit class when I was 16, trying to overhead press 100 kilos, a push press 100 kilos, when I couldn't even push press 70 kilos. I still have an issue in my shoulder now that I probably will have to get fixed one day from being an idiot, okay? I never used to worry about my recovery. And guys, if you're watching this in your early 20s, you're probably going to laugh at this and skip ahead. Chaps, anyone over 30, I'm sure you're probably listening up now. I used to train 7 days a week, okay? Now, I do not train more than 4 days per week. I do weights 4 days a week. All of my clients train between 3 and 4 times a week. I very, very, very rarely give someone a 5-day plan unless they beg me for it because they're a coach. I train some coaches and things like that, okay? 4 times a week is all you'll need to have an amazing physique, okay? The things I used to ignore: sleep, okay, recovery with training. Remember, we don't build muscle in the gym. We break down these actin and myosin filaments. We break down muscle in the gym, okay? We recover, we repair, and we grow outside of the gym with adequate rest, recovery, and protein, okay? Sleep and things like that. So if you're watching this and you sleep 4 hours a night so you can get up and go and do your cardio because you're a hard-working entrepreneur, you're not going to build much muscle. You'd be much better off sleeping 6 or 7 hours and actually being productive throughout your day. I don't get the flex of people that sleep 4 hours a night and try and boast about it. You literally look and feel like shit and perform worse. Well done. So sleep, guys. We need to prioritize sleep. When we think this channel is all about being lean, having that complete physique, we know obviously recovery is important for sleep, but what about appetite control? Okay, what about decision making around food, cravings, recovering from workouts, building more muscle, training better? It is the biggest cheat code I can think of, and so many people ignore it. Especially what a lot of people do is they'll train Monday to Friday. Okay, they maybe run a 3-day plan, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The weekends is your 2 days off. They are the most important days of the week where you're going to grow, repair, and those are the days where people decide to go out and get hammered and go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't understand it. Those are your two most important days. You've got to think about longevity, guys, and looking after your body. This is something I've really had to kind of bring into my life over the last few years. Mobility work, being functional, massage, sleep, sauna, ice bath, all these things play such a huge role in how much muscle you have and how much fat you can lose. If you are injured, you cannot build muscle, okay? How many guys get injured? Shoulder injuries, pec tears, being stupid, okay? As I've gotten older, I box 3 times a week because it keeps me functional. It makes me move in ways I would never normally move. It helps me with my mobility, with my shoulders. I do massage twice a week. I live in Bali and it's easy. My sleep is dialed in 10 till 5:30 most days, okay? I do a sauna every single day. I ice bath most days away from training. But these are the things that allow me to train more, which means build more muscle, do more cardio, lose more body fat, stick to my deficit because I feel good and I have energy. You've got to prioritize your recovery. And that's it, guys. That is the top 5 things I've had to completely quit and get out of my life in order to be lean, have the complete physique that I always rave about. As always, I appreciate you watching this video. If you want my course, it is below. If you want premium coaching from me, it is below as well. Both of them are completely different. One is to help people get on track with their training. One is to get way more specific. And it's obviously one-to-one with me. If not, no pressure. The fact that you're watching this video is enough for me, and I'll see you in the next one.